next survivor represents the interior Alaska Yukon taiga. The taiga would be a great place for the next survivor because of its climate and physical features. Also, other taigas are located in Russia, Japan, and Mongolia.
The taiga's temperature ranges from negative 65 degrees Fahrenheit to 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter and from 30 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. The contestants can build shelter out of wood and leaves or bring a tarp.
We'll need to find some plants that they can eat in the taiga. The Amelanchier alnifolia is a plant that the contestants can eat. It has adapted to the harsh soils of the taiga. Another edible plant is the tamarack tree. It has also adapted to the soils of the taiga. The Clayton sibirica has fruits that contestants can eat. It doesn't die when it is exposed to freezing temperatures. The Rhus aromatica is a plant that can grow in weird shapes and is also edible. The contestants will also find some animals that can be eaten. The elk is one of the animals that can be eaten in the taiga. They have a thick fur coat to help them survive in the cold weather of the taiga. The reindeer, like the elk, also has a thick fur and can be eaten. The musk ox can also be eaten, and it also has a fur coat for warmth. The Dall's sheep has adapted to the cold weather by having hollow fur, and it can also be eaten. Although wolverines are at the top of the food chain, they can be hunted and eaten by the contestants. They have adapted by giving off a strong scent that keeps other animals that might eat it away. Arctic lemmings can burrow away from the cold winter weather. They can also be eaten.
There are many animals that can be a threat to the contestants. Animal attacks are very rare, however. Wolves can attack the contestants, but only if they are desperate. A stalking bear is most likely to attack, but they are not common. A deer getting attacked can fight back, and they are very dangerous.
Biggest problems for the taiga is deforestation. The Taiga Rescue Network is working to prevent it. The conservation program has set up protected areas that prevent any deforestation or damage to the forest. The grizzly bear being endangered is another problem for the taiga. They are at the top of their food chain, and groups are trying to keep them around. The Kutzamatine Grizzly Bear Sanctuary has been set up to save these grizzlies.
We won't impact the environment too much by not hurting shelters. We won't cut down trees, so any shelters and trees won't be affected.
The contestants will need to carry around a backpack for survival. They will need to carry something to keep warm in their backpack, like a jacket or blanket. They will need some water for survival. They will need a rope for climbing or shelter. They will need a knife to cut away at leaves and branches as well as hunting. The contestants will need a first aid kit or something so they won't get injured or get infections. They will need something to create shelter like a tarp. The last thing they'll need is matches so they can create fire for warmth or cooking. All of this will be light so they can easily climb or walk around.
Efforts are to make parks out of the taiga. It will stop deforestation as people can't cut down trees or make roads in a national park. It will conserve the endangered grizzly bears and other animals that are endangered. It will bring awareness to these animals and other issues in the taiga.
Decided on something that involved the snow and trees of the taiga. Contestants will need to gather up as much snow up into a bucket from a tree. Then they will need to run over to a station where they need to use the snow from the bucket to throw into a ring across the river. First one to get 5 snowballs through wins. The winners will receive a night at a log cabin with a warm dinner and breakfast.